Hello guys, today I'll discuss the most important MCQs of economics. So first is microeconomic theory deals with. So microeconomic theory deals with economic behavior of individual economic decision making units. Next, which of the following is central problem of every economy? So scarcity of economic resources is the central problem of every economy. Next, equilibrium related to which of following these? So equilibrium related to market conditions, which once achieved tend to persist. General equilibrium analysis refer to. So general equilibrium refers to behavior of all the individual decision making units and market viewed in totality. Next, normative economic theory deal with. So normative economic theory deals with how the problem should be solved. Next, in a mixed economy, which of following sectors are found? In a mixed economy, private as well as public, both sectors are found. The right option is option B, A and B. In economic theory, the terms means refers to. So term means in the economic refers to resources. Market equilibrium of commodity is determined by. So market equilibrium of a commodity is determined by balancing of demand and supply position. Ceteris paribus means other things being constant. Economic resources are limited in supply but have alternative use. Which of following are not economic resources? So air is not economic resources. Which of following are not an economic resources? So all of these are economic resources. Which of following are economic? Then land, labor and capital, all of these are economic resources. Which of following are not economic resources? So air, water and sunlight, these are all non-economic resources. Which of following resources should be called the land in economies? Coal mines, water resources and minerals deposits, these are all called as the lands in economy. Which of followings not land in economy? So Tehri Dam is not a land in economy, it is the capital in economies, right? So next question is, which of following classified as capital in economy? So Bhakhara Dam, Indira Canal and Golden Triangle, these are all called the capital in economies. Capital in economy means factor of productions. Scarcity of resources leads to both unsatisfaction of human wants and evaluation of alternative use of scarce resources. Who defined economy as a science which deal with the wealth? JB says define the science which deal with the wealth. Economies cannot be considered as perfect science because human behavior is unpredictable. It is difficult to make correlation prediction of correct prediction of economic variables, and economists do not have common opinion about the particular economic event. All of these are the right answer. In economic good includes material things which option A can be transferable and can be exchanged for one another. So option C is right answer. A and B are both. In economy, in economic wealth, stock of all those material and immaterial objects which are transferable, have utility and are scarce. All of these are the right answer. In addition to three central problems of economy, additional problems raised by the modern economists are, right option is all of these. First, they are fully utilized or not, how efficient production or distribution system should be, and whether the capacity of production grow increasing or static. Next question, the basic assumption of economic analysis are ceteris paribus and rational behavior is the right answer, option C both. The term microeconomics and macroeconomics were coined by the Ragnar Fitch. Adam Smith is known as the father of economics. Which of these are the outside the domain of macroeconomics? The consumer behavior is domain of microeconomics. That is why this is not under the domain of, it is outside the domain of macroeconomics. Scarcity of resources or means resources are limited. Human wants are unlimited. Economics cannot be given the status of science because all of these. First is of non-uniformity of opinion and approach of economist. Economic behavior of human beings are unpredictable, and measuring road of money is unstable. Right? Which of following is not central problem of society? So for where to produce is not the central problem. What to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce, these are the central problem of economy. The paradox of diamond are more costly than the water, explained by the scarcity. Which of following these are economic activity? Hairdresser doing the haircut, designing on payment. This is the economic activity. The term micro is derived from the word Greek word and which means small. Which of following issue related to microeconomics? Impact of shortage of wheat, water or wheat prices is the issue which is related with the microeconomics. Economics modes are, these are based on some realistic assumptions. The famous book An Inquiry into the Nature and Cause of Wealth of Nation was written by Adam Smith in 1776. The law of indifference curve, also known as law of substitution, law of equimarginal utility, and the law of diminishing marginal utility, all of these is the right answer. Which of following not the central problem of society? What to produce, yes. How to produce, yes. For whom to produce, these are all central problem, but what to it is not a central problem of economy. The central problem to how to produce it is resolved by the relative price and availability factor of production. In a free economy, the decision about the investment, saving and consumption are decided by price mechanism. In a free economy, this is also called the capitalist economy. Which of following these are true about the production possibility curve or production possibility frontier? The right answer is option B. It shows various combination of two commodity or two goods which an economy can produce with a given amount of resources or technology. If the production possibility curve linear, it implies that constant opportunity cost. The opportunity cost of consumption is lack of capital formation for future. The opportunity cost of capital investment is sacrifice current consumption. Any point of PPF is attainable with increase in production facilities. If an economy is working at the left to the PPF curve, it shows that the economy is working at less than the full employment level. Curvature of PPF due to increase in the opportunity cost. PPF is negative slope due to scarcity of production resources. Economic efficiency means getting greatest satisfaction from available resources. The economic efficiency means higher the PV curve indicate the more production of both the things, increase in technology or factor inputs supplies. This is the question. We have to draw the PPF or PPC. We can say this is the these are the different combination, right? A combination A, B, C, D, E and E. This is the F. This is the F, right? So this is a PPF. Here the production of gun and here is the bread, right? So first when we produce the zero gun, then we all the resources used for the production of bread, then we can we can produce more bread. In this case, zero gun 20 breads. Then when we produce one gun, then we can produce 18 into 100, right? 18 ton breads, right? Similarly, this is the combination, and I have drawn this in this curve. First question is on the base of detail above production possibility curve, one gun combination B. In the combination B, this is the combination B, then we can produce the 200, right? 200, okay. And second question, opportunity cost increase the production possibility curve 3 units combination D ton, then we can produce 400, right? And similarly, in case opportunity cost curve increase the 4 guns combination of E, then we produce 500 ton breads, right? Opportunity cost increase in production ability of gun to 5 unit combination of F is the ton of bread is 600 ton breads. Next question is in question 53, the economy produced only 3 gun and 900 tons of wheat instead of 1100 tons of wheat. What does it indicate? Indicate underemployment, resources, production inefficiency, suboptimal production. All of these is the right answer. In a firm is operating at any point inside the PPF, the firm is inefficient firm. Any point beyond PPF can be obtained by both by increasing supply factor of inputs and technological innovation. The economic growth is best depicted by outward shift of PPF curve. Production possibility curve show the maximum combination of two products. The relationship between the aggregate consumption expenditure and aggregate income of household sector is known as consumption function. The expenditure measurement method of national income aggregates all money spent by private citizen firms and government within a year. Is the GDP at MP exceed the GDP at FC by the amount of revenue raised through the indirect taxes. Microeconomics is the study of all of these: inflation, unemployment, growth. In a closed economy, saving is equal to investment of the equilibrium level of income. Which of following is method of the measuring national income? The output method, in expenditure method and income method, these all are the method of to measuring the national income. Net factor income from abroad, NIFA, is equal to NNP at MP less NDP at MP, okay, is the right answer. Person disposable income is equal to wages and salary plus dividend paid at home plus factor income received from abroad and transfer from government minus personal income tax. Personal income equal personal disposable income plus personal income taxes. GDP at MP is sum of the consumption, investment, government spendings and net exports. So net export means export minus import. Microeconomics is concerned with all of these: the level of output of goods and services, the general level of prices and growth of real output. The personal income include all the following except undistributed corporate profits. Nominal GDP is the total value of goods and services measured at current price. GDP at factor cost exceed GDP at MP market price when subsidy exceed indirect taxes. The difference between GNP and GDP is the NIFA. NDP does not include depreciation allowances. National income is NNP at FC. The difference between personal disposable income and personal income is personal taxes. Which of following is example of government transfer payments? So right answer is free food coupon issued to person in anti-poverty program. Net factor income earned within the domestic territory of a country must be equal to net domestic product at factor cost. By definition, the margin propensity to consume, all of these is the right answer. Equals margin propensity to consume is equal to change in C divided by change in Y. C means consumption, Y means income. And next is the behavioral coefficient C in equation C is equal to A plus C YD. C means consumption, Y means income. A is the coefficient. Ceteris paribus is an income tax, decrease in value of expenditure, and net tax revenue multiplier. On the basis of Keynesian model of output determinant, the multiplier of 3 implies that an increase in investment by rupees 1 will result in increase in consumption by 2. Consumption demand does not depend upon the level of margin investment of efficiency of investment. The slope of consumption curve connotes the marginal propensity to consume. The financial interrelation ratio is equal to total issue divided by net factor formation. If the available workers are unaware of the job being offered and employer are not aware of the available workers, such type of unemployment is called the frictional unemployment. Unemployment that arises when there is general downturn in the business activity is known as the cyclical unemployment. Full employment is a level which there is a least supply of labor. Natural rate of unemployment increase due to the frequent change in the job by laborers. If the actual rate of unemployment exceeds the natural rate of unemployment, then the option A and C is correct. Option A is actual output of economy will be below, and option C is the consumption of goods will be decrease. Unemployment that arises due to regional occupational pattern of job vacancies which does not match the pattern of worker availability and suitability is known as the structural unemployment. Disguised unemployment means unemployment due to downturn in the business activities. In which sector Indian economy will find a high rate of disguised unemployment? Agriculture sector. Unemployment that is caused by mismatch between the composition of labor forces in the term of skill, occupation, industry and generic geographical locations, and make up the demand for labor is called the structural unemployment. During the recessionary phase of the business cycle, the natural rate of unemployment will increase dramatically. The flip curve shows that the higher unemployment rate are associated with the low rate of inflation. Full employment exists when there is a natural rate of unemployment. Balance of trade is same as balance of merchandise trade. All entities in the business all entities all entries in the balance of payment should collectively sum of will be 0. In the balance of payment statement, current account includes only one statement, merchandise invisible items. In the balance on account and capital account, balance of payment taken together is negative, then it is a case of balance of payment deficit. Next is transfer payments are payment made for no return in service. For example, pension. Which of following transaction is included in the current account balance of payment statement? So dividend earned on portfolio investment is the right answer. Personal tax in India best illustrate as a progressive tax system. In the union budget, profits from public sector undertakings are taken under revenue receipts. Marginal product is rate of which total production change with the change in the variable inputs. Total output is maximum when MP is equal to 0. Low variable proportion applies. Some inputs are fixed and some are variables. Law of returns, right? This is the variable proportion and this is the law of returns. Then law of returns applies when all the inputs cost are variable. Explicit cost refer that actual expenses of firm to purchase or hire inputs is needed. Implicit cost refer to the value of input service for which no payment were made to the outsider. Which of following cost will increase or decrease with the increase in the production? The marginal cost. If a firm cost of raw material increase, then marginal cost curve will shift to upward. If a firm cost of raw material decrease, then marginal cost curve will shift downward. The law of diminishing rate applies to the short run. If the total production increase in the short run, the total cost will also increase due to the increased variable cost. Marginal cost is defined as the change in the total cost due to the addition of one unit. The positively slope part of the long run cost curve of firm due to the diseconomies of scales. Negatively shaped part of long term short curve due to increase in the production due to specification division of the labor. Which of following statements is true about the average cost function? The average total cost is equal to average fixed cost plus average variable cost. Here is the question. Cost of pattern of product is given. Output is 1 2 3 5 3 4 5 and cost is when produce 1 0, then cost is 35. In case 1, then cost 42. In case 2, 53, 3, 8, 475 and 588. Which of following detail what is the fixed cost or sunk cost? So sunk cost is 25 is the right answer. How to find this? Okay, give the answer in the comment box below. Which of marginal cost in second unit? So right answer is 11. We will reduce 42 less 35, the 11 will comes, right? Similarly in this case, okay. In question 1, average fixed cost for 3 unit is 10. Average fixed cost one third unit, then it is the 2 the right answer. The relationship between the labor hour worked and total output relation with respect to the product given below. Hour of labor worked, total output, a marginal increment. This is the question. Hour of worked, okay. This is the total output and this is a marginal is given. First of all, what is detail given the average output in case of when 2 hour labor are deployed, then right answer is 55. Okay. When what is the total output when 2 hour of labor are employed? 110, right? What is the marginal output third hour of output? That is 65. Okay. What is the marginal output when 5 hour labor is then 60? What is the average output of 5 hour of labor then 60? The firm remain stage of increasing return to scale up to the labor hour, that is 3 labor hour. The firm remain the stage constant return to scale level up to the labor hour, that is 4 hour. The firm enter in diminishing return to scale, that is 5 hours labor hour. Okay. The firm should continue to deploy additional labor hour, that is 6 hour. The optimum level output is given 355. If the firm continue to operate beyond the 6 labor hour, then labor hour cannot be declared surplus. The firm should increase fixed input to the increase the output. What is the firm enters the law of diminishing return to scale? The right option is total variable cost begins to fall at an increasing rate. Okay. Which of these curve never touch the x-axis? So average fixed cost will never touch the x-axis. The total cost to the arithmetic sum of is a fixed cost and variable cost. The variable cost is also known as the incremental cost, marginal cost, and differential cost. All of these is the right answer. Which of these are not the factor of a cost function of a product? The market price of the product is not the factor of production. Next is in the short run, which of the following is a fixed? Capital remain fixed. The slope of total variable cost curve equal to marginal cost. In the short run, the diminishing marginal return is implies to rising marginal cost. The variable cost curve is explained by all of these. The right answer. Total variable cost curve is explained by the law of diminishing marginal returns and the price of variable inputs and production function. Total variable cost begins to rise at an increasing rate with onset of diminishing returns. Total variable cost begin to rise at decreasing when with the onset of increasing returns. This is the diminishing returns, this is on increasing returns. Okay. Which of following cannot be U-shaped curve? Average fixed cost can never be U-shaped curve. The long-term supply curve of a constant cost industry is a horizontal line at the price that is equal to the long-term minimum average cost of production. The long-term supply curve of increasing cost industry is the upward sloping line. Long-term supply curve of increasing cost industry is the down sloping curve. In economy, the long-term run of all costs are variable. In economic theory, in the short term, all the costs are fixed. Marginal cost curve is a positive sloped. Marginal cost curve can equal to average cost curve when average cost curve when average variable cost is constant. The measurement of sensitivity of quantity demanded to change in price is called the price elasticity. Which of following is no type of elasticity in the economy that a utility elasticity is not term used in the elasticity or in economics. Income elasticity used, price elasticity used, cross elasticity used. Which of following is the not a method of measuring the price elasticity of economics, that is the total saving is not measuring. As per the total outlay method, demand is said to be elastic if a result of change in price, total outlay remains same. If the price of sugar falls, leading to fall in total outlay on sugar, the demand of sugar is inelastic. The price of X fall, leading to increase in total outlay on X, the demand of X is elastic. The price of X falls, leading to fall in total outlay of X, the demand of X is inelastic. If the price of coffee fall, leading to increase in the total outlay on coffee, the demand of coffee is elastic. If price of burger rise from rupees 12 per piece to 20 per piece, okay, as a result, which of following daily sales decrease from 300 to 200 per day, the price elasticity of demand can be estimated as 0.5. Okay. If the price of vegetable sandwich rise rupees 6 per piece to 12 per piece, as a result of which of the total daily sales decrease rupees 800 to 400 per day, the price elasticity of demand can be estimated 0.5. As a decrease in price will result in increase in total revenue if the percentage change in quantity demanded in greater than the percentage change in price. An increase in price will result in increase in total revenue if percentage change in quantity demand is less than percentage change in price. An increase in price will result in no change in total revenue if the percentage change in price equal to percentage change in the price. Okay, the price elasticity of demand of product will be more inelastic if the it forms a very small part of consumer household budget. The price elasticity demand of product will be more elastic if it has number of substitutes. If the consumption of a product can be postponed for the time being, the demand for product will be relatively elastic. Bread and butter have negative cross elasticity of demand. Omelette and cake have positive cross elasticity of demand. Point elasticity of demand can be useful in case of following cases. The right option is a health club is considering a lower the monthly membership fees. The coefficient of price elasticity of demand is calculated as the percentage change in price by percentage change in demand. Price elasticity concept was propounded by the Marshall. Price elasticity of demand is not affected by the cost of production. Demand of salt is inelastic because it has no substitute. Luxury goods have high degree of elasticity. The quantity of commodity which an individual is willing to purchase over a specific period of time of a function of all of these is the right answer of a price of product disposable income taste and price of other commodities. Which of following is not a factor is market supply product the number of buyers. The market demand curve for a commodity is horizontal summation of individual demand curve for a commodity. Equilibrium state is achieved at the intersection of demand and supply curve. If the cross elasticity between the two products is positive, they can say that the products are perfectly substitute to each other. If the price elasticity of a product greater than 1, we can say that the product's demand is sensitive to price variation. If the price elasticity of demand for a wine is estimated to be 6, then a 20% increase in price of wine will lead to the 12% decrease in quantity demanded wine for at the price. If the price elasticity of demand of chicken is plus 95, okay, 95, then a 20% increase in price of chicken will lead in the quantity demanded of chicken at that price is 19 increase. If the cross price elasticity of demand for two products is negative, then the two products are complementary to each other. If the demand of coffee increased by 10% with 20% decline in the price of sugar, we can say that cross price elasticity of demand is negative and both the products are complementary to each other. If the price of coffee fall 8% and the demand for tea decline by 2%, the cross elasticity of demand for a tea is 0.25%. When the price of complementary products falls, the demand of other product will be increased. When the price of complementary product increase, the demand for other product will falls. Elasticity of elasticity of supply depends upon all of these factors: nature of commodities, production technology, future outlook of prices. The supply curve passing through the origin will have elasticity just 1. The supply curve passing through any point of x-axis quantity will have elasticity less than 1. The supply curve passing through any point of y-axis price will have elasticity more than 1. The goods which are perfect substitute to each other will have rate of substitution unitary. The goods which are perfect substitute to each other will have elasticity of substitution is infinite. The goods which are not perfect substitute to each other but have to consumed in fixed ratio will have rate of substitution 0. If a dealer is prepared to supply 1000 sets of a 29 inches color TV, if the price is 12,000 per set, however the price rises to 15,000, he is prepared to supply 1500 pieces. The elasticity of supply for TV is right option is, what is the right option? Right option is 2. If the question in this question, if 15,000 in case of price rise of TV set, the dealer is prepared to supply 1250 set of TV. Elasticity of supply is 1. If question 15,000 dealer is prepared to supply 1100, then elasticity of supply is 0.4. Tea and coffee are perfect substitute to each other. Given price of tea and coffee being 100 and 200 per kg, a consumer is prepared to buy 3 kg of each. Each means tea as well as coffee. If the price of tea remains same, the price of coffee rises to 400 per kg. The demand for tea goes to 6 kg and the coffee falls to 1 kg. The elasticity of substitute between tea and coffee is 5. Select odd one of these. In this question, consumer taste, price of goods, and change in population, increase in price of product. Price increase in price of product is the odd one of these. Next question, select all odd of one of these. In this, price of product, cost of production, number of supplier, standard duty, state duties, right? So odd is price of product. X, a consumer spent his entire income uh, on two commodity A and B. If price of A increase by 10% and his expenditure on then B remains same, then the price elasticity of item A is 1. The price of commodity A, instead of increasing, fall by 25%. Still the total expenditure will be expenditure as well as expenditure on item B remains same. The price elasticity of A will be 1. An individual is spending his entire income on two items A and B equally. If income elasticity A is 4, and what is the income elasticity for B? So right answer is 3. If a individual is spending his entire income on two items A and B in ratio 60:40, if income elasticity of A is 5, then what is the income elasticity of B? Is right answer is 5. If the price of petrol rise from rupees 40 to 48 per liter, the demand for a car falls 6 per month to 45 per month. The gross elasticity of petrol and car is 1.25. If the price of eggs rise from 25 per dozen to 30 per dozen, the demand for vegetable burger increase rupees 30 per day to 40 per day. The gross elasticity of eggs and vegetable burger is 1.65. The gross elasticity of a negatively perfect substitute product will be infinite. The gross elasticity of unrelated product will be 0. The gross elasticity of complementary product will be greater than 0. If the two goods are perfect substitute to one another, the elasticity substitution will be infinite. If two goods are not substitute for all one another, the elasticity of substitution will be 0. If the disposable income of household increase by 10%, the demand for bread falls 5%, the income elasticity of bread is minus 0.5. In bread can be considered as inferior goods in question 218. If the disposable income of a household increase by 10%, the demand of X commodity increase by 25%, the total elasticity of X is 2.5. In question 220, X can be considered as luxurious goods. If a disposable income of household increase by 10% and demand for X commodity increased by 10%, the income elasticity of X is 1. In question 222, in this question, X can be considered as a normal good. If the disposable income of household increase by 10%, the demand of X commodity remain 0. Okay, remain same. The income elasticity of X is 0. The question 224, in this question, X considered as an essential good. Which of these lead to increase in quantity supply at a given price? The reduction in levels. Reduction in levies mean taxes. Which of these will lead the decrease in quantity supply at the given price? The imposition of higher levels. Imposition of higher levies mean taxes, right? The income elasticity of inferior goods is generally greater than zero. Okay, the income elasticity good elasticity demand of normal good is generally less than zero. The income elasticity of complementary good is greater than zero. Cross elastic substitute good is generally less than zero. The elasticity of demand curve will be constant slope increase in higher price. Perfect inelastic supply curve will be parallel to y-axis on vertical line. Perfect elastic supply curve will be parallel to x-axis. Which of following not function not a factor market supply of product is number of buyers. The minimum price that supplier expect to make available specific quantity for a sale is called supply price. The maximum quantity that supplier is prepared to supply in the market at a given price is called supply quantity. Change in cost of production of a concerned goods causes supply curve shift. Supply curve shift caused by change in ceteris paribus condition. At a given price, increase in quantity supplied can be possible if all of these. There is apprehension of sharp fall in price in future, refund or supply statutory levy on cash given by the government, and improvement in technology led by the cost living. Which of these not a determinant of aggregate supply? The quantity demanded is not a determinant of aggregate supply. Positive supply curve for a product represent a supply will move with the movement in price in the same direction. Which of following will have relatively flat supply curve? The right answer is land. Supply curve parallel to x axis means the product supply is unlimited. Which of following will have highly inelastic supply? Perishable good. Which of following will not factor of quantity supplied? Consumer disposable income. The slope of goods means the quantity offered for sale at a given price and a time. Under low supply, ceteris paribus means both cost of production and production technology. According to low supply higher the price the quantity seller prepared to supply in market. The quantity that an individual supplier is prepared to supply over a period of time is a function of both option A and B. Cost of, price of product and cost of production of product. A desire culminates into demand or effective desire only when it backed by both purchasing power and willingness to spend money. The maximum price that consumer is willing to pay for a given quantity is called uh, uh, demand price maximum. Goods and services that are not necessary for vantage living or wants. Complementary goods are those which are consumed simultaneously. Sugar and tea are complementary goods. If the price of sugar increases, the demand for tea will fall. Increase in price of product reduce the purchasing power, as a result of which of demand for a product goes up. This effect known as the income effect. Decrease in the price of product result in increased consumption of product as a product becomes cheaper compared to other product. This effect is known as substitution effect. Traditional approach to law of demand was propounded by Alfred Marshall. According to traditional approach, the factor responsible for operation of downward slope of demand is all of these: change in number of consumer, law of decreasing marginal utility, and alternative use of goods. According to modern approach, law of demand caused by income as well as substitution effect. Which of following is exception to the law of demand? All of these. Given good future change in price and change in fashion, these are the exception to law of demand. Shift in demand curve or change in demand curve occur to change in ceteris paribus condition. Change in quantity demanded or movement along with the demand curve occur due to change in price only. Increase in demand is also known as in economics extension in demand. Decrease in demand is known as extraction in demand. Tea and coffee are alternative goods. If the price of tea increase and demand of coffee will increase. If the demand function of product X, a product X is as Tx is equal to 12 minus 2px, where px stands for price, the quantity demanded corresponding to price of 2 will be 8. In above question, the quantity demanded in when price is 5, then right option is 2. If an individual y has a demanded of 6 unit of product, market price of product will be 3. In if there are 5,000 customers for a product and the aggregate market demand for a product at market price rupees 2, in this question, right, 269 will be 40,000. In question 270, if there is a 5,000 customer will be 16,000, right, aggregate market demand. The supply function of product X is as Sx is equal to 5 px plus 3, where px stands for price and quantity supplied corresponding to price of 2 will be rupees 13. In this above question, if the price for the supply available to market will be 23, at the price given at the price the firm will be willing to supply 28 piece in the market, then right answer is 5. If there is 1000 firms in the market dealing in the product under the question, what would be aggregate supply if the price is rupees 4, then right answer is 23,000. If the individual demand and supply curve of product are dx equal to 12 minus 2 px and sx is equal to 3 plus px 3 plus 5 px, where px stands for the price and dx stands for supply, and respectively stand for quantity demand and quantity supply. If there are 5,000 consumers and 1,000 supplier for a product under this question, what is the equilibrium of price? That is the right answer is 3. What is the quantity demanded and supply at equilibrium price above question? 22,000. What is the aggregate demand if the market price is 4.20 per unit, then right option is 18,000. What is the aggregate supply in the market price 4.20 per unit, the right option is 24,000. The quantity of commodity which are individual is willing to purchase over a specific period of time of a function is all of these: price of product, disposable income and taste and price of other commodities. Market demand curve for a commodity is horizontal summation of individual demand curve of a commodity. Equilibrium state is achieved at the intersection of demand and supply curve. The under the law of demand, ceteris paribus are all of these: price of other goods, disposable income, taste and preferences. The demand of a product is 25 unit when the price is 10. However, the demand rise 26 and what is the price rise reduced by 9.9 per unit. The marginal revenue production and sale additional per unit is 25 to 26 is 7.4. In above question, the price reduced 9 but the demand goes 26. What is the marginal revenue for the sale 26? That is minus 16. In above question 28 is 286. The total revenue for the sale of 26 unit is 257.40. In our question, what the total revenue for sale of 26? That is 234. In our question, what is the average revenue for sale of 26? The 9.9. In our question, despite reduction in the price 9.9, demand for a product remained 25 per unit. We can say that the demand for a product will perfectly inelastic. In our question, the price is reduced to 9 per unit to the demand for a product instead increasing fall down to 24 units. The goods can be inferior goods. In our question, the price is increased by 11 per unit and demand or supply falls by 20 units. We can say that the goods are luxurious goods. A levy of excise duty on consumption of an item consumption will be placed the consumer lower in difference curve. The imposition of excise duty would affect the demand of product due to both income as well as substitute effect. Two commodity X and Y's goods can be inferred as close substitute to each other if the increase in price of one lead to increase in demand for other, vice versa. If two commodity X and Y can be inferred as complementary to each other if the increase in price of one lead to decrease in demand for other, vice versa. Goods and services that are necessary of living are needs. A goods can be considered inferior goods in economics if increase in disposable income of a consumer causes decrease in an demand. A goods can be considered as normal good in economics if increase in disposable income of a consumer and increase in demand. Change in consumer taste and preferences cause the particular goods shift in demand curve. Change in price of commodity cause the change in quantity demanded. If a price of chocobar decrease, we accept the quantity demanded to increase. According to law of demand, lower the price, higher the demand for a product. The quantity of commodity that an individual is willing to produce over a specific period of a time function of expected price of competitive product. The market demand curve can be commodity is the horizontal summation of all individual demand curve of that product. If a supply curve of product remains same with the increase in price, the possible reason can be all of these. Apprehension of price further hike and limited product facilities, and commodity being a rare commodity. A market economy equilibrium price reached at the point of interaction of aggregate demand and aggregate supplies. Which of following is the essential feature of market? All of these: buyer, seller, and price. These all are the essential feature of the market. Which of following not essential feature of market? The building with the loading and unloading facilities are not the feature of market. Which of following are the characteristics of monopolistically competitive market? All of these: no restriction, exit and entry, many sellers, product differentiation is the feature of monopolistic competition. If there is simultaneous fall in the consumer disposable income as well as a number of supplier of product in the market, the equilibrium quantity will be decreased. Very short period is a market condition where the supply remain perfectly inelastic. In a long run, price is governed by the cost of production. Adam Smith called the price mechanism as a invisible hands. In the long run, a firm is perfect competition earns normal profit only. The practice of selling same product at a different person at a different price is called price discrimination. Which of these are not cause of price discrimination? The right option is tax differentiation. If the both disposable income as well as number of supplier of product are rises, the equilibrium quantity will go up. Simultaneously increase in demand, only quantity supply will be increased in equilibrium price and quantity. If firm force that shutdown situation when the price is less than the average variable cost. If a firm shut down at a level then average variable cost is greater than price, the firm restricted its loss to the total fixed cost. Fixed costs are the sunk cost in short runs. When the price is less than the average variable cost, the firm should shut down its operation for the time being. Break-even point refers the situation when total revenue equal to total cost. A firm that break even after all economic costs are paid in earning normal profit. A firm that makes profit is excess normal profit is earning a super normal profit. A natural monopoly have declining over large range of output long-term average cost. A monopoly based on the sole state ownership of production and distribution ownership known as a government monopoly. The market state that satisfy essential feature of uh, perfect competition market expect identity product is known as monopolistic competition. Oligopoly may start at a price war in order to grab a larger share of the market. In the short run, if the price is above the average total cost in a monopolistic competition market, the firm makes profit and new firms join the market. Which of following is associated with the monopolistic competitive market than normal in short run? The ideal level of operation for a pure monopoly future firm in level where the total revenue and total revenue and short term total cost curve are parallel to each other. When the demand curve of pure monopoly firm is elastic, MR will be positive. In a short run, the monopolistic competition firm will be equilibrium where the marginal revenue curve intersect short term marginal cost for below the at a P equal to or more than average variable cost. In a pure monopoly firm, a firm can take abnormal profit of a long run equilibrium level due to the banned entry of new firms. In a short run, an oligopolistic firm will be any of these three are possible, means make profit, incur loss, and just break even. A monopoly firm makes profit, more profit because it has ability to choose among price and output combination. Super normal profit occur when average revenue more than average cost. The monopolistic competition market has excess production capacity in long run. Oligopoly market is known as price rigidity. In a competitive market, industry is a price maker. In a competitive market, firm is a price taker. In a competitive firm, maximization its output when total revenue is maximum. Oligopoly monopoly demand curve is same as average revenue curve. Which of them is characteristics of price taker? MR equal to price, AR equal to MR, and TR equal to PXY. So this is the numericals. Next, in this question, price equilibrium of quantity, demand, and supply 2600, right? Demand equal to supply, right? What is the equilibrium to price? Price 20, right? 20 is the equilibrium to price. And under perfect competition, an industry is said to be equilibrium where the total output equal to total demand. Under perfect market condition, the firm said to be equilibrium where the profit is maximum. Under perfect competition, supply curve of firm is represented as marginal cost curve. Long-term equilibrium of industry under the perfect market condition is achieved all of above. All the firms are earning normal profit. All firms are equilibrium. There is no further entry or exit of a firm in the industry. Which of following statement is true? In perfect competition, average and marginal revenue cost are identical. For a monopoly firm, market demand curve is average revenue cost curve. Which of following statement is true? A monopoly for a MR can be zero or even negative. For a monopoly firm, MR curve is lies halfway between AR curve and y-axis. A monopoly is characterized by the limited entry and exit opportunity. Which of following forces faces the downward sloping demand curve firm in a monopoly market? Average revenue of a monopolist firm is always more than the marginal revenue. Demand curve of oligopoly firm is characterized by the kink at the price. Which of following statement is true? The monopolistic are price taker. What will happen if a firm in perfect competition market increase its output by 50%? The total sale revenue will increase by 50%. Pure monopoly, it is the form of market in which one only seller of a commodity has fully control over the price. Stock of both um, made under as well as natural resources like capital good are national stock. Patrio efficiency is situation in which not possible to make sometime better off without making someone worse off. Equilibrium price is the price at which demand for a commodity equal to its supply. When a monopolistic charge different price to each customer is called price discrimination first order. If the demand curve of monopoly firm is same as that the price same as that the total market demand. In a perfect competition, market price determine both by what to buy and what to produce. Total profit of a firm in perfect competition market is total revenue less total cost. National income is the money value of all goods and services by the country during the year. The GDP in a money value of final good and service produced in a domestic territory of a country during a accounting year. Which of these are included in the domestic territory of a country? Ships and aircraft operated by the resident of a country between the two or more countries is the right option. Choose the correct option. GDP at FC equal to GDP at MP minus tax plus subsidies. Which of following is equilibrium incorrect? NDP is equal to GDP less depreciation. Which of following is correct? GNP is equal to GDP plus NIFA. Which of following are excluded in the combination of national income under the value added method? All of these. Own acquire fixed assets by the government, enterprises, government and household. Production of self consumption and imputed rent of own occupied house. Which of these are transferable payment? All of these. Pension, scholarship and unemployment allowances are the transfer payments. In agriculture sector, net value added is estimated production method. Which of these are not included in territory sector, the agriculture? Which of these indicate the increase in the welfare of people? Increase in production of wartime equipments. Which of following an example of intermediate goods? Steel and cement used for construction a flyover. GDP is defined as the market value of all goods and services produced in a domestic country during the year. If in 2000 nominal GDP is 70,000 crore and price in 2000 were 40% more than the real price GDP in 2000, using 1996 as a base price is 50,000 crore. Assuming consumption is 45,000, investment is 1,000, and government purchase 1,200, export 450, depreciation 600, indirect taxes 500, GDP will be 6,600. In above question, national income will be 5,500. If the total cost of production of a cake in a bakery is rupees 20 per cake, which is ultimately sold to the customer for packing and transporting to the retail shop of rupees 5 per kg, 25 per kg, the value added is rupees 5. In a closed economy, GDP is equal to GNP. In an open economy, all of three are possible. Means GDP equal to GNP, GDP greater than GNP, GDP less than GNP. Which of these example of transfer payment, retirement of pension? GDP can be defined as sum of market value of final manufactured goods and services. A reed garments factory pay rupees 100 for suit length of rupees 5 for cotton thread purchase, and rupees 50 to be labor for stitching, and suit will be sell of rupees 750. The contribution of GDP is 750. Which of these would not be the part of GDP? All of these will be not the part of GDP. Sale of intermediate will not included. Income from illegal betting will not included. Household services rendered by housewife or family. The real GDP measured in the base year price. Nominal GDP measured in the current year price. Which of is not the part of GDP in year 2006? A house built in 2000 and first sold in 2006 is not part of in year 2006 of GDP. In, if the GDP exceed GNP, the possible reaction could be foreigners are earning more in India than Indians are earning in foreign countries. GDP deflator is an index of price change in goods and services included in GDP. From the following equation, estimated consumption and disposal income 1000 is C is equal to rupees 200 plus 0.8 by D, and right answer is 1000. The vital data of country are given below. GNP at MP 99,000, NIFA minus 60, capital consumption allowances is 1600, net indirect taxes is given 8450. We have to find the GNP at factor costs. Right answer is 90,530. Based on the data given in the question, this NNP at factor cost will be 84,430. Based on the data given in this question, NDP at factor cost will be 84,990. Based on the given data, NDP at MP will be 93,460. The correct answer is the value added is equal to total sale plus closing stock of finished goods and semi-finished goods minus opening stock of finished goods and semi-finished goods minus expenditure on raw material minus intermediate goods. To value added is value added minus depreciation. If the nominal GDP is 11% and the real GDP is 6%, the difference 5% represent the rate of inflation. The given real GDP of 6.6%, then rate of inflation 5.5%, the nominal GDP will be 12%. The real GDP is 8.25% and nominal GDP 11.25%. The rate of inflation will be 3%. If we add depreciation to net domestic production, we will get GDP. If we add NIFA to national income, we get NDP. Residual income is the personal income minus personal income tax and miscellaneous receipt of government administrative departments. Which of following is not included in the net domestic product at factor cost? Rent, interest, and profit and operating surplus will not included. Which of following is the Apex Bank of Agriculture Credit in India an award? CDB is a subsidiary bank of EDB. RBI check inflation, increasing bank rate and increasing CRR. Which of following is near money? All of these are near money. Bank of bill of exchange, saving bonds, gilt edge securities. These are all the near money. Which of following the best oldest system of money? The barter system. Optimal money is a non legal tender money. Which of these are not function of money? Power indicator is not function of money. Which of following function is does not serve used as a measuring the price of different good or services the standard of value? Which of following function does not money serve when used to purchase or sell different goods and different services? Maximum medium of exchange. If RBI want to decrease the money supply in order to check the inflation, all of above means sell bonds, increase here and hike bank rate. If the country is posting through recession, okay, if a country passing through recession, the RBI would buy bonds, reduce CRR, ease out bank rate. If the RBI sucks excess money into circulation, this will affect both M1 or M2. Manipulation is CRR enable the RBI influence the lending ability of the commercial bank. How does the commercial bank create money? A lending part of its deposits. Which of these affect the demand of money? Price level. If someone keeps some money for bad boy, this demand money is known as the precautionary motive of money. Which of following will lead to the fall demand of curve? The increase in real rate of interest. Exim Bank was established 1st January 1982. Exim Bank is authorized by the raise loan from the trading activities. Which of these are not duty of Exim Bank? Trading activities not okay. It's not on duty. Okay. Before this, Exim Bank authorized to raise money from trading activity, and which of following not duty of that is right option is advisory is not option. Okay, this is the function of okay. RBI nationalized Jan 1949. Which of following are terms are inappropriate to RBI? Both bankers of bank and bankers of government. Exchange control and management is done by RBI. FERA has been replaced by the FEMA. CRR means cash reserve ratio. CRR used for combat inflation. SLS stand for statutory liquidity ratio. Nationalization of bank took place in July 1969. Repo market means the money market instrument which helps in collateral short-term borrowing and lending through the sale and purchase of operation and debt instruments. Repo transaction means sale of security by bolder to the investor with the agreement to purchase them at a predetermined rate and a date. Is a reverse repo transaction means a sale purchase of security by the holder to the investor with the commitment to sell or purchase them to the predetermined rate and date. Repo transactions are allowed in all of these: government security, treasury, and bills of all maturity, government security, and PSU, and private bonds. India is a recipient of loan. Which of following these are all of World Bank, IMF, and IDA? Demand pull inflation rise due to the mismatch between the demand and supply of commodity. Cash push cost push inflation rise due to the persistent rise in factor cost. Deflation is a state when prices are falling. Which of falling which of these are caused to inflation? All of these: increase in public expenditure, deficit financing, increase in administrative prices. Deficit financing means both of these: financing budgetary deficit by borrowing, financing budgetary deficit by printing currency or money. Inflationary condition may coexist with which of following condition: increase in money supply opportunities. Given the supply quantity which is fixed, or increase in aggregate demand will have a direct impact on inflationary pressure. Supply of money refer to total money held by the public. A given CRR of 25% initial deposit 1000, banker system creates secondary deposit 4000. Given reserve ratio 20% for an initial deposit 1000, create total supply 5000. Which of following these not function IMF? IMF is function not provide the settlement of international trade disputes. Which of following not the function of World Bank? Arbitrate on the international trade disputes. Which of following not the function of World WTO? To settle border disputes between member country among the member countries. At the given time, given marketplace, the entire market demand curve indicates the quantity of good consumer would be able to purchase the series of prices. Assume Samatha likes hot dog and Hamburg quantity, and the price of Hamburg uh, decline. Uh, she will mostly purchase more Hamburg. This is the reflection of substitute effect. Which of following would not consider the normal good? So floor is not a normal good; it's a necessity good. Okay, a typical demand curve will normally have negative slope. Which of following not considered complement? Okay, Coke and Pepsi is not complement goods. Which of following not considered a substitute? Hamburger and French fries is not a substitute. Which the price of Ford automobile increase and price of Chevrolet remain constant. The demand of Chevrolets will be increase. An increase in technology will shift in the supply curve outward shift. The okay, supply curve in this form. Okay, uh, outward shift in supply curve will result in the equilibrium price decreasing, quantity increase. A reduction in number of producers will result in equilibrium price increase and total quantity decrease. As a certain type of clothing becomes more fashionable, will exact will equilibrium price will be any quantity increase. If a supply and demand both shift outward, but the demand shift more than supply, the equilibrium of price will increase the quantity and increase and will increase and quantity will increase. Okay, price will increase and quantity both will increase. At the Christmas time, often a certain toy and doll becomes increasingly popular. This is primarily due to increasing demand. Which is following correct? For a price floor set above equilibrium price, that quantity supplied exceed the quantity demand at set price. Which is following correct? The price selling set below the market equilibrium price, the quantity demand exceed the quantity supplied for set price. Okay, what happened to the equilibrium price? The quantity of peanut butter. Okay, if peanut increase the price and the price of jelly decrease, the equilibrium price will rise and equilibrium quantity will determined. Which of following is not reduce the transaction cost in a market? A full pledge mark newspaper ad to sell your used lawn mower. Which of following Indian state has favor sale sex ratio? That's the Kerala. Green revolution, also known as the wheat revolution. Green revolution was successful because of hybrid yield variant seeds. BSNL stands for Bharatiya Swadesh Nigam Limited. A regulatory framework for telecom is TRAI. TRAI stands for Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. NTPC National Thermal Power Commission. Sarvodaya Shiksha Abhiyan policy was declared 2001. Distinguish unemployment mainly due to underemployment. Disguised in employment, right? Disguised unemployment is mainly found in the rural areas. Disguised in unemployment refer to situation when the margin unemployment refer to situation where the margin productivity of supply worker is zero. Structural unemployment mainly due to the structural change in the economy, which is following cause the friction unemployment both non-availability of work due in the strike, lockout lockout, and temporary employment due to unemployment due to change in job. Which of following is not the cause of unemployment? That is, liberalization is not cause of unemployment. Labor cost consists people officially employed or unemployed. Type of unemployment that include those persons who are unemployed of intervening people changing over the better job is known as the frictional unemployment. Which of these measures would not reduce the national rate of unemployment with hike in unemployment allowances? Unemployment due to the mismatch between the skill possessed and present available job is structural employment. And in an agriculture family, all the family members are working for farmland of the family due to the addition of two or more persons in the family. They are also working farmland and family. No additional increase in the out of this type of unemployment known as a disguised unemployment. Which of following are feature of underdeveloped economy? All of this: greater inequalities, higher incidence of unemployment, or orthodox means of production. Which of these are primary sector? Poultry is the primary sector. Which of following the secondary sector? Manufacturing is secondary sector. Which of following not economic activity? Point, painting for self-use is not an economic activity. To tackle on theory is a state rapid growth per capita income of associated with the reduction in poverty. Thank you very much for watching.